All right, today I want to finish on a lighter note. Love versus money. Why marriage breakdowns get so messy. There's an article. It's an article that I found and I thought we should get some stuff because these articles, I read a lot of these articles. They contain like breakdowns with some of the issues that we deal with. When you go to the courthouse, one of the reasons why they will tell you that divorces are happening is money, finances, right? They always say money, finances, infidelity. The third one they always say is irreconcilable differences. The fact that irreconcilable differences is in that list should tell you that the rest of the two is probably nonsense. Okay, and I'm the only one that really says that. I think there are two reasons why marriages break down. I think it's pride and unrealistic expectations. Mismanaged pride slash ego and unrealistic expectations. Okay, I think of that as the root that might show up as finance issues, financial abuse, infidelity, and all these other things. But expectations and pride and ego. But I understand why the studies will say irreconcilable differences, finances, infidelity. Okay, but today let's see what we can learn from this article on investmentnews.com. Love and marriage, the challenges of separating the two when marriage breaks down. Love and money, okay? When marriage breaks down, when does marriage break down? Anybody want to guess? The marriage break down long before divorce, okay? The marriage did not break down at divorce. Nobody is preaching divorce to your wife. She left you much longer than you thought. Okay, she had left. Our spirit had left that marriage a long time ago. You just didn't know. Are you serious? I knew it. No, you didn't know it. So you're still arguing. You're trying to retain a woman that doesn't want to be with you. She left you a long time ago. Anyway, so when we say love and money, the challenges of separating the two when marriage breaks down, as you can see, when marriage breaks down, before they actually pull the trigger on the divorce, you start arguing about money. So by the time you get to the divorce court and they ask you to fill out some paperwork, the reason for the petition, you might just fill out finances, right? Because those are the last series of events that you remember. Your husband takes your car and go and park it somewhere else because he's punishing you because he said he bought you the car. He used this money to buy the car. So financial abuse, right? And he's trying to use resources, finances, and materialistic things to punish you, to get you to submit finally, right? Well, what were the things he was going through? What were the resentment that he had against you that led to that, right? See, unfortunately, nobody has pulled knife here, so we can talk about some of the things that led to this point, right? The only time I said we can't talk about what led to it is if we are talking criminal behavior. Okay, pulling knife on a person is criminal behavior. It doesn't matter what made you do it. If you end up doing it, you're going away for life. So I cannot speak to that, to those kind of extremes. But the mild, small abusive behavior that happens between couple when they have resentments, we can talk about that. We can help you mitigate the risk of those kind of things, and that's why we'll talk about love and money. So if you start to argue about money, it looks like money is the issue, but no, money is a tool, right? It's a resource, and when it gets down to it, it's not about how much resources you have. It's about how resourceful you can be, right? So the little that you are accorded, that God has given you, you and your husband or you and your wife, do you know what to do with them? Do you know how to move without moving mad? Especially when there might be occasional conflict around decision making on how to use the limited resources that you have, right? Everybody have limited resources. It's not just you. Some people look richer. Some people are riding Range Rover, but they don't have any money left over after they pay the bills every other week. So you are busy comparing yourself when actually what you have is more than enough. It's just a matter of, can you be resourceful or you can be, right? You as a couple, but first you as an individual, because sometimes the other person you might not see eye to eye, but you can lead. If you can complain, you can lead. Anyway, divorce is really simple, but when I'm reading now, Divorce is really simple, but when significant wealth is involved, things can become complicated and conflict can be better. Added into the mix of divorcing couples today is the economic environment, which means separating partners may have challenging demands that increase the complexity of the split. Sylvia Ginnan, senior vice president investment officer at the Ginnan Financial Strategies Group of Wells Fargo Advisors, has shared with Investment News her perspective on how financial professionals can guide clients through the process. One of the more pressing issues comes from the housing market. And I quote, high interest rates are making it more difficult for couples going through divorce to get into new homes equivalent to their existing lifestyles. Okay, so let me paint the picture of what that like. So during COVID, you're able to lock in a very super low rate, 4%, 5%, 4.5% interest rate on your mortgage. And now COVID has finished. Interest rates are at 8%, 7%, right? And you're about to sell the house. Yes, you could sell the house, but you need to move into another house, right? But you're trying to sell the house. You could make some money. First of all, you have to argue on, anyway, that whole thing going on with Simon Gubadia and Portia Williams. Or then you find out that you've taken out some loans when the money was so cheap, right? And now you find out that there's some liens against the property. Bottom line is that it's not so easy. The more money you have, you would think it's supposed to be easy. The richer you are, it's supposed to get easier. But this article is saying the more complex it gets. You know why? Because money multiplies everything. Just like social media, okay? With rates being close to double, it is hard to maintain a similar price point for their housing, particularly when their net worth is being divided. Ouch. Beyond real estate, hidden assets have also become a more common concern. Due to their more complex nature, some spouses are choosing to hide net assets in their digital asset account. It is important to bring on experts to help find any assets that were being hidden in virtual wallets. She says, bringing financial professionals such as forensic accountants to trace accounts and find hidden assets is one way to ensure all assets are accounted for. In one breath, you're thinking, Ola, why are you teaching people how to start dragging each other in the... It's not me. But these are the things that happen. This is why I said don't glorify divorce. Divorce is not something you can glorify, honestly, to be honest, right? But what I'm saying is that when somebody is advising your ex-partner to bring in professionals so they can find any hidden assets, even those ones that you didn't think was assets, they're not saying, what about this? You go to mediation and they're saying, what about this one here? And you're like, Ayema Nikao, you this man, and I loved you with my whole life. You want to destroy me. You, in your mind, you're like, no, we had an argument. It's emotional abuse. I think we should just exit the marriage. And then you forgot. You didn't even know that you had that much resources. But they have brought on financial forensic people, and they start to expose all the things that look like money. And then you start dragging it out. What about the emotional drain? Let's not talk about that today. We just talk about what's probably going to happen. If you have, and the more money, right, the higher your salary is. Yes, it gets very crazy. Let me see here, Uncle Benny. Let me drop that link real quick because we will be running away very soon. I have a session coming up in about 25 minutes. I dropped the link, Uncle Benno. All right. Today, many large accounting firms have digital asset experts on their team. She says it can be costly, but a good return on investment if hidden assets are found. Even if new assets are not found, it is a good way to have confidence and move forward after a settlement. All right, so really what I want to, somebody said, okay, here, there's a quote here, says, prenups are a key tool to create clarity and bring expectations to the forefront. Okay, prenups can be cracked, by the way, although Simon Gubadia, who created the prenup, tried to crack the prenup, but it did not work. Okay, they upheld it. The prenup is not going to protect your heart. It's not going to protect you from vindictive ex-partners. Okay. She says it may be uncomfortable to discuss with your soon to be spouse, but it sets the precedent for open communication about finances. Postnups are a good tool to use if there is uncertainty. Postnups do exist. Pre, postnups after marriage, you decided that, babe, we have a lot going on here. I think we should spell some things out on paper, right? Yes, it will be an awkward conversation. You see, oftentimes I highlight more of the emotional work that we need to do, creating emotionally safe space for your partner, so you never have to enter this zone. Okay, so I'm never really saying don't do things like prenup or postnups. What I'm trying to tell you is that I think nobody else highlights that those things never really protect your heart, and it doesn't protect you from vindictive ex-partners, because anything Yoruba people say òyìnbó tó kọ òyìnbó tó kọ̀wé òyìnbó tó ṣe pẹ́ńsù ló ṣe ìrésà. There's nothing that cannot be erased or deleted. Okay, at least from a perception standpoint, or at least from a legal standpoint. Never mind people that might say, Uncle Bendo, I dropped the liquor. Please come in as soon as you can. Never mind people that say, in America, once they say it is that way, it is that way. It's a lie, oh. It's a lie. America or the Western world is too far from perfection, if that's what you thought. The only thing is that we do have institutions that will protect an average person from maybe financial standpoint, institutional standpoint, but the institutions, including the divorce court, including the civil what do you call them, the civil judicial system, does not really protect your heart. It doesn't protect your mental health. It doesn't. If anything, it's to drag your mental health through the muds. Okay, so when I say work on yourself, I know what I'm talking about. I know at times it might sound like broken record, but I promise you, it's worth everything. Okay, and everything else tends to follow suit. Okay, and then if you decide you want to do post up, prenup, at least you're doing it from a non-emotional standpoint, as opposed to, oh, I'm so angry with women, let's do prenup. That's emotions speaking, not the prenup. That's emotions camouflaged. Okay, Uncle Beno, talk to me, Jerry, my brother. We're rounding up. Thanks for rounding up with me.
Hey, MOP, how your day?
How you doing? By day, I still in the middle of it. It's 9 p.m. here on the mountainside. So
We don't
yeah.
climb the mountain, oh, please. All right. So I just want to talk about two things, but
Hmm.
basically just one. It's more
Yeah.
like I just wanted to like sample your opinion regarding the previous segment before the last one now.
The
The
DV,
one
yes.
where the one where the wife won't chop the husband neck come out. All right.
Hmm.
So I've watched that video couple of times because I know definitely we're gonna be reacting to it tomorrow, and I don't want to come off like a coconut head, but I just wanted to see maybe you and I were looking at the same thing. First off, I think that husband is manipulative, and just like you rightly said, I think both husband and wife they are both toxic. They should have called that marriage off for a very long time. If you listen to, even though it's a very short video, but both their action and their words speak a lot, tells a lot about what's going on in that marriage. Like, for instance, I pick up when the woman said, I told you not to come to my room. Why do you come to my room? Go to your room. So that already told me that, man, these people have been at this craziness for quite some time then. But that just by the way, I think I will get into all of that tomorrow. What I'm really seeking your opinion on is this. That recording, it's a giveaway for me. The recording, the man is doing the recording and it tells me a lot. It seems like that woman, that man has been doing some shit to that woman for a long time until she snapped. And now, because they are abroad, he wanted to cover up himself, so he need hard evidence. So I guess when I look at the video, now as a cameraman, I wanted to see if that is a raw footage or if that footage has been tampered with. So then I saw what I was looking for. Towards the bottom of that video, I see the answer right there. That was not the full video. dude has been recording. He has been recording before he gets to the point where we start watching it, because he has to edit that video with InShot. And one of the things this app will allow you to do is to cut clips. So I guess he was recording after had successfully triggered the lady and everything was ongoing. He now cut the video before he posted the one we are seeing. Now, when that lady went and brought that knife, I have a feeling that if not for the camera, it will have been a different ball game completely. First off, I don't know why that man was still there, but now that the wife came with the dagger, she looked at that phone. First, she was coming with mad range. The moment she grabbed him in the neck and was about to strike, her eyes goes to that phone that the man was holding. And then she stopped, and that's when she's like, "Give me that phone, give me that phone." So I think him recording is part of what saves his life. I don't think the phone actually stopped the lady from striking him, but I think the lady could not be sure whether he was actually transmitting whatever he was recording live, or maybe just ordinary recording. So that's why she stopped for that split second, and that's what saved his life. So that's what I wanted to ask you. If you also look at it and you pick up one or two things regarding that moment where she came with her life, because if you look at her eyes in that video, man, that is range.
That was rage, yeah.
That was it. Where she was coming. If you notice when she had bought him, oh, I'm not gonna blame the lady. My thing is nobody should get to that point anyway, because that is pure madness. But I wanted to know, do you think that recording actually saved him the way me I see it now? Because I saw her eyes go to that phone and then she stopped before she said, "Give me that phone, give me that phone." That's what I wanted to ask, and that's the reason I think you drop
Thank
in,
you.
Baba.
Thank you for that question, Baba. You see, first thing first, yes, the fact that he pulled out the camera and started filming is a form of manipulation. Of course, with that camera, he'll be able to manipulate the story or the narrative, right? That whatever narrative he's trying to push, it's not just him. Many people actually say people should start buying cameras. Or like, are you crazy? Instead of you to start leaving the relationship, why you start buying camera? So, so that's the way I see the camera thing. So now I can't fully tell. If you remember, Oluremi was also saying something to that, and I said, unfortunately, like I always tell the men here, once you start pulling out knives, we cannot accept the excuse that they made you do it, because they could have made you leave too, right? Now to the main question that you're asking, if the camera saved his life, I don't know. I don't believe the camera can save anybody's life. I think the camera can make you win a case in court. Okay? Might save you from losing a case in court. That woman, like you've just rightfully said, had rage. In fact, I think the camera, I would argue, I don't know, but I would argue that the camera pissed her off even the more. Before she went to go and grab the knife, he was already pissed off. When she said, "You're filming, let me go and grab my own phone," because she also wanted to tell her own story. She said that before she went to grab if you go and watch the game, you see where she said, "Make her go grab my own phone." You understand what I'm saying? Because she also wants to film. Everybody is in competition trying to grab their camera first to feel the calamity between their marriage. See, these people are crazy. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if I can. It will be a general rhetoric. Oh, the camera saved him. No. I think she actually got pissed off more because of the camera. Because at some point she also wanted to grab the camera because she would like to delete the recording. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
So I this and I don't know in terms of how he got posted. That video could have been sitting in their phone for 5 years. They might even be in a different place in their marriage or life right now. You know what I'm saying? before, because if you, at any time if you see that video and you post it on internet by mistake, maybe somebody stole your phone, it will go viral because it's a crazy scene we just saw. We don't know how the story went down. The only thing me personally I'm willing to say about this story is that these people are crazy, and they are crazy to be in such a marriage, and I'm not going to exonerate any one side. He had a camera. That camera is just as good as a knife, as far as I can see. Everybody might not see that, but as far as I can see, the camera is as good as a knife. If you are able to gaslight a person to the point where they will pull out a knife, I can see that far. You see what I'm saying? And I think you're a crazy person and you're dangerous to yourself as well as your children. That's how I see it. Not just the obvious stuff, which is, oh, she pulled the knife and he saved her. It might have been, I don't know. So hopefully I answer your question though. Shout out Chidima. I agree, our eyes were crazy. No humanity left. But yes, recording is manipulation. Reminds me of Cora Obidi's husband. They are saying, nope, if he's truly afraid, he would have fled. No, some people are crazy. They will stay in a toxic situation. Uncle Benny, talk to me. Let's round up. Uncle Benny.
Hey, MOP, can you hear me?
It's going in and out somehow. It's a little choppy. It could have been me though. My connection is bad.
My daughter just called me. Maybe that's why.
I can hear you.
All right. Basically, that's just what I wanted to clarify with you. My thing is, nobody should be in a marriage where they get to this point that they are threatening to unalive each other. I have never been a supporter of that. And that's why I kept saying that until men realizes that divorce is two ways, we won't get out of this mess. Until you realizes that divorce is actually at your own, you can actually divorce for your own peace of mind. Until a man knows that, I don't think we are ready, Baba. I don't think so. And we were having the conversation at the backstage earlier today, and I was of the opinion that if not me, this thing no go reach this point. There are times where you don't have to argue with the woman. There are times where you make some statements, the way you say it, quietly, calm, but the way he drops, the woman you are talking to will instantly knows that, this is not the regular conversation we used to have. It's simple. For me personally, me and violence, we don't go together. I don't do that. And that's why I always pride myself as a consequentialist, and I always advise men, you got to set boundary. And then don't be a man who says something and you don't do it. Once you are in the marriage with a woman and you think that this thing is not working, bro, both of you need to go and talk to somebody to resolve it for you. If you guys can't find a common ground, if you as a man, you want to stand and say, because I had that dude saying, this is my house, you can live in this house. I just look as if we're in here for abroad.
I know, right? This is my house or there.
I don't leave the house for you since.
I know, right?
I don't understand some men though. Baba, I'm telling you, you bring bass boats like this. Where to be the house? This Paco house that we are buying in America or where? I am gone. That's just it.
The house that you will lose, that they will sell, that your children will sell.
Bami.
For banjo, foreclosure. All right, thanks, Baba. We'll talk soon. Yeah, it's stupid. Thank you, Uncle Bedo. My connection is pretty bad, so I know you guys are probably hearing him very well, but I wasn't hearing him very well because of two-way transmission, because of this crazy, stupid Wi-Fi here. Anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Shout out to Dale James. Good to see you, Dale James. It seems the house is he didn't want to leave. He seems like he lacks self-respect and he doesn't like himself. That's what it seems like to me. And all of us, when we can get into a place in a relationship like that we've lost ourselves, that will completely forget that you have to be here to enjoy the relationship. Don't be that person. That's all we're saying. Don't be that person. But I'm looking forward to Uncle Bendo's show tomorrow. I know that's going to be a heated debate. I would love to see it. I'll join in if I can. I'll try to join in on Uncle Ben. Just find Uncle Ben O on YouTube. If you don't know, most of you know it. So, but just in case, find Uncle Ben O on YouTube. So it's probably gonna have a panel. They will discuss this tomorrow. I look forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, self-respect. Everything starts with self. Yes, we extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topic. Remember, it starts with self. Don't disengage from your power. Your power is not materialistic things, obviously. Your social cues must be on point. Okay, don't say things like "Go buy a camera and make sure you collect evidence." You say something like that, you don't like yourself, obviously. Let's not talk about seduction now, because this is probably all in the pot already. Obviously, there's low levels of attraction, there's low levels of emotional intelligence. These are the things you need to be operating with. Once you notice that the other person is not operating from that standpoint, take a step back. You go learn it. Start practicing for yourself. Use it in all your different types of relationships. Learn how to attract the kind of reality you would like to live in. And then if that person belongs there, they will belong there. They'll work on themselves. If they don't belong there, they will self-eject. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Shout out to all my people in the chat. Marriott, Chidima, you showed up. Good to see you, Chidima. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for being here. Everybody, Oluremi, good to see you too. Oluremi showed up. Hallelujah. I know she's always watching though, but shout out to Blexy. Shout out to you. Blexy said, man should leave. Yes, man. Yes, man. Learn how to leave. If you don't like him anymore, leave. And get rid of all those traditional nonsense. Leave. If the person is toxic, the way you're going to teach them how to treat you is to leave. Take a step back. It doesn't have to be a permanent decision. But the fact that you don't know how to leave is no wonder why you're being disrespected. Because you lack self-respect. That's why. Somebody slapping you like that and you stay in that situation, your head is not correct at all. Anyway, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. We'll see you on the next one very soon, this weekend. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.